shooting ourselves in the foot too much. It's just not good. I feel like crap.
Minka Fitzpatrick, kiss him goodbye. The kick by Vinatieri is on its way.
It's missed. Cortland Sutton, touchdown.
Damian Williams all the way home, touchdown.
And the kick is good. He got it. Butker got it. And the Chiefs have won the game.
Touchdown Ravens. And this house is going wild.
Yeah, yeah. You know what time it is. Time for Steven's A-List. Remember, not Marcus, not Max, not Molly. It's my top 5 NFL teams after week 9. You saw what happened this past week. Let's go to number 5 on the list. Give it to me. The Ravens. Why? Great coaching, John Harbaugh. A defense with rough riders and an MVP candidate in Lamar Jackson, who is real, surreal, no joke. He is a dual weapon personified. I got to give it to them after what I saw them do with the New England Patriots dropping 37 points on that defense, even though one was obviously a fumble recovery and a touchdown. Let's get to number 4 on the list. Give it to me, y'all. The Seahawks. Why? Russell Wilson. That's why. Leading candidate for league MVP. That's why. And oh, by the way, Marcus, just to make you feel better, Pete Carroll's their coach. We have to give him the respect that it's due. After all, he's not Bill Belichick, but he's still good. So we'll leave him in the top 5. Let's go to number 3 on the list. Give it to me, y'all. The New England Patriots. You know why. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, only 1 loss on the season, still an elite defense. We know what they're working with offensively right now, but the bottom line is they're still in it. Give them their respect where it's due. It's only 1 loss on the season. We can't give them a top 2 spot, by the way. We know who we got to give that to. Give it to me, the New Orleans Saints. Why? We saw what they did without Drew Brees, but now Drew Brees is back. The defense is better. Drew Brees is that dude. Sean Payton is that dude. The New Orleans Saints has been rolling all season long. There's no reason whatsoever to lose faith in them, but I'm not going to give them the number 1 spot. I'm going to save that for this team, the San Francisco 49ers. Richard Sherman, shut your mouth. I got a right to sit up there and go against the grain and say, you brothers are real, you brothers are bad. I'm not going to be Michael Irvin. Keep the same intensity. Please don't lose the intensity. Please the same intensity. Keep it. No, Richard Sherman, I'm not doing that because y'all don't deserve that. You deserve to be recognized as a top team in the National Football League because that defense is real. It is surreal. Obviously, you got a top running game. Kittle is a bad boy at the tight end spot. I still don't know about porn star Jimmy, but I'll find out about him. He's the lone question mark for the San Francisco 49ers right now. I'm going to give it where it's due. That's my top 5.
I'm glad you finally caught up to me. I told you last week the Niners should be number 1.
Both
The
of y'all
Saints should be
wrong.
number 2.
I'm going to keep that same energy for the Saints. The Saints went undefeated without Drew Brees. 5-0. Now he back, and they are going to rip the doors. I told y'all before the season started. Everybody, look, I'm a Cowboy fan, and we break the Cowboys down non-objectively sometimes, except when you get under my skin. With that being
Which is all the time.
With that being said, the Saints were my pick from the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. Like this team
They
is
were our
complete.
pick.
Yeah.
They were our pick. Yeah. This team to me. When now we picking hairs, right? We at the point of the season where these
Splitting
teams
hairs,
are who
yeah.
they are. We splitting hairs. I'm taking Drew Brees.
So am I.
I don't care what anybody says.
Especially because he's rested now, not like last year.
You're missing a key pivotal
wear
point.
and tear.
My list is mobile.
I got you.
It
Fluid,
moves.
you
It's
know.
fluid.
What about this week?
I got you.
And it's his
this week.
list.
Okay.
How are you going to put anyone ahead of an
This
undefeated team?
I got you. I understand, but we just had a conversation earlier about who you played.
And here's what you're missing. They got to go to San Francisco. Now, obviously, that's not like Cincinnati, Baltimore, someplace
Who
where they
has
their
to go to
weather.
San Francisco?
If New Orleans, the place for the beginning of the day, New Orleans would have to go to San Francisco. The road to the Super Bowl would have to come through San Francisco. If New Orleans was home and San Francisco had to come to the Dome, I wouldn't pick New Orleans to lose 2 years in a row on their home turf in an NFC Championship game. Then we're talking a different story.
No
Can
doubt.
I just say one thing? We talked about black cats to start the show, running around the franchise with the Cowboys. Yes, that really happened at MetLife Stadium. Stop, you're creeping me out.
Dr.
But
Evil.
seriously, isn't it about time the Saints also catch some breaks?
Man,
I mean,
listen,
how many plays?
That's a great
so
point.
bad.
They get
The
job
Minnesota
done. It was
Miracle,
terrible,
then the
and then the
call.
following year-
Can you
I mean,
remember a time
If
where
any
one
team
team
deserves it, in my opinion.
in one team over the course of like almost a year now has been so consistently victimized by
Yeah.
poor officiating?
Yo.
That stuff's supposed to come out in the
bad.
wash.
Honestly, the Saints probably should be in both Super Bowls back to back.
They should be
Like,
getting some good calls this year, no
I mean,
matter what.
it's crazy to think. Look, this team is complete though. Like we always talk about. First of all, Alvin Kamara ain't playing right now. I don't think people realize how big that is for this team to be playing
Major.
with. He wasn't
And
playing
nobody's
with Teddy
talking about
Bridgewater
it. You're
starting.
right.
By the way, and no one really, how much better did they look once Breeze got back? Like
Got back.
Bridgewater
And-
was doing
and
well
Michael
enough.
Thomas
no
literally
question.
could be in the MVP conversation. A receiver
Yeah.
could be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
So
Top to bottom.
And you look at the defense side of the ball. Cam Jordan is as good as anybody
Yeah.
right now. Like this is a complete team, man.
It's a complete
question,
team.
but again,
it's
so
a
much
complete
parity,
team with a
still never
quarterback
going
you
in.
trust. And unlike last year, where at the end of the season in the playoffs, you're like, Drew Brees is making some questionable decisions. The arm doesn't look because he had to play the whole season. But this could be a blessing in disguise. He got a nice rest while he's rehabilitated,
Yeah.
and now he's back. There's going to be more tread on the tires.
Guess who give them problems?
The Patriots?
Guess who get the Saints
Cowboys.
problem?
Cowboys?
They do.
Sure.
Just match up with them great.
Sure. You know, I'm glad you keep saying that. You know, you keep holding on to that. Hold on to that dream. It's good for you.
Saints got a good
Stream.
run defense, though. That's good against the Cowboys.
Yeah, true that.
All right. Let's play a little take it or leave it, shall we? Let's start with the Patriots. First loss of the season Sunday night. I'm looking at this guy. I know about your theory. Take it or leave it. The Ravens are the biggest threat to the Pats in the AFC.
I'll leave it. Patrick Mahomes comes back. It's still the Chiefs.
100% agree. I don't even need to talk.
I'll leave it. Same here.
All right. Russell Wilson puts up big numbers in an overtime win for the 7-2 Hawks. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to take it. I'm
What?
going to take it.
That'll win the MVP?
That'll put a big number. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
I'm going to take it.
That'll win MVP.
No. It's about he win the MVP. I think he's going to win it. I think Seattle's going to continue to play the way that they've been playing. I think Russell Wilson is going to continue to play the way that he's been playing. I think Pete Carroll's going to continue to ask him to shoulder the load that he's been asked to shoulder, and I think that's going to be the difference.
I'll take it also. I think Rodgers' performance and Wilson's performance this last week flipped MVP favorites for me because my prediction would be Rodgers would outplay Wilson the rest of the way. But if Wilson is having games where he's outplaying Rodgers, he already built an early lead, and there's going to be he's the sentimental favorite. Like, he's never won one, and it would be nice to acknowledge his greatness with an MVP, particularly when he deserves it. He's going to win it.
Russell Wilson continues to play like this. He's the MVP. Russell Wilson played a game for a quarter without communication with his offensive coordinator, where he called plays, and they won the game.
And by the way, he's
And I
doing
know
this-
some other guys can do it, but he lost communication and went down
For how long?
for a quarter, I think.
And by the way, he's doing this without the height of a quarterback we expect and without the arm. He does not have, like, Aaron Rodgers has this incredible arm. He doesn't have that kind of arm, and he's doing this.
That's good enough on.
All
Yeah,
right,
he has
the once left for dead Steelers have now won 3 straight and are a game out of the playoff spot. Take it or leave it. Mike Tomlin will win Coach of the Year. Stephen A.
I'm going to leave it. And the only reason I'm going to leave it is because we can't deny the job that we're seeing from Kyle Shanahan. When you look at Kyle Shanahan and schematically, the misdirection plays that he's been calling, the things that he's been doing to insulate Jimmy Garoppolo while elevating his growth, the running game, some of the innovative things he's been doing offensively, and you see how elite that defense is. There is no denying. I mean, Mike Tomlin has been phenomenal, and he's going to get a lot of coaches fired because we see teams with more talent than the Steelers have doing a poorer job. So Mike Tomlin's excellence as a coach is going to cost a few coaches their head coaching jobs, but I think it's not going to take away from the greatness of Kyle Shanahan this season. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to win Coach of the Year.
I'm going to leave it too, but that's because I think Shanahan will win, not because I think he deserves to win, although he's doing a fantastic job. Mike Tomlin is so clearly and by far the Coach of the Year so far, it's ridiculous to compare anyone to him. Guys, when Shanahan lost Jimmy G, he couldn't win a game. They couldn't win. Mike Tomlin lost Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, Mason Rudolph, he's sitting at 500. He's winning as much as he's losing. He lost everybody. Mike Tomlin is clearly the coach of the year, but he won't win it because Shanahan will.
I'm taking it. Based on what you just said, teams don't recover from that.
Yeah.
95% of your offensive production walked out of the building, and one is standing on the sideline, and you still somehow manage to be 500, to your point, Max. But even more so, the fact that this team believes they can win games, right? Look, we've seen star quarterbacks go out and everything go haywire. But Mike Tomlin holding it together.
All right. Maybe Rivera deserves some credit, too, or should I say Christian McCaffrey. He already has 13 touchdowns and is in the MVP conversation. Take it or leave it. McCaffrey, best running back in the NFL.
Take it. From a multiplicity standpoint, him catching the ball out of the backfield, there's a legit argument for Dalvin Cook and what he's been doing for Minnesota. But right now, Christian McCaffrey is on another level. And we see these type of seasons every once in a while from a player that's like, yo, Christian McCaffrey is going to be good for the rest of his career. This right here possibly could be an outlier with what he's doing.
I was trying to tell people when people were paying lip service to him, he might be the second best running back in football. And no, he's like fifth. What about this? I'll take McCaffrey. But the second best. Look, I can't prove it again because I understand the numbers are what they are. He's having the best season.
Yeah.
The best running back in football to me, like if there's a league-wide draft and I could take one, I'm taking Saquon Barkley. I don't have to think twice. I do not have to think twice.
Well, I'm gonna take this, but it's not because he's better than Saquon Barkley. It's because he's having a better season, and I can't ignore that. When you consider the fact that he's got 42 receptions out of the backfield, that he's already run for 881 yards, that he's averaging more than 5 yards a carry, without Cam Newton for teams to be worried about, without an elite wide receiver for teams to be worried about.
Yep.
Excuse me? All you basically have is Greg Olsen. And so when I look at it from that perspective and I see what Christian McCaffrey is doing, it comes back to what I'm saying. And I'm going to say it again. It's reverse discrimination. If he were black playing the running back position, we would be talking about him more. This white dude named Christian McCaffrey as a running back is balling better than anybody at his position.
Remember when they were like, oh, boy, he can't run between the tackles. Christian McCaffrey can do anything you ask him to do on the football field. He's a beast.
All right, let me get to another one here. The first two quarterbacks of the 2019 draft sure don't look like it. Take it or leave it. Sam Darnold, Max, will be better than Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to leave it. I still believe in Baker Mayfield. Even after all this, I believe in Baker Mayfield.
I'm taking it. It has nothing to do with psychological. I think that Sam Darnold is bigger. I think that Sam Darnold has better vision of the football field, and I think he dances less in the pocket. I would say it's going to be Sam Darnold.
I take it as Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold ain't doing nothing but going through what Jared Goff went through with Jeff Fisher.
Just right.
Yeah, but how do you know? Maybe Baker's doing the same thing right now.
Get rid of Adam
coach away. Baker played well under this same coach that everybody
you know
got enamored with.
Stephen A. is doing now? He's calling assistants saying, make some signs, missing cat. Can't find my missing cat. Running around that franchise. Your feral cat outside MetLife Stadium where you live.